Nikki's my cat. Nikki Tian. He's so cute. He, he's just watching. He's like starting to be the show. Can you hear him purring? Anyway, I just had a comment where somebody was asking me, do Canadians really not see the economic collapse that's coming? No, there's still a great deal of wealth that I'm seeing. I suppose it depends on whereabouts you're living. I'm living in a very wealthy area. It's an area that's always been known for having a lot of really wealthy people and a lot of poverty. There is very never usually anything in between here in Kelowna. That has been changing over the years, where there is sort of like the middle class here. It's definitely grown over the years, creating more of a middle class. But there still is an upper class, and they are seeing problems. But the only problems they're seeing is that everybody else is wrong and not them. I've seen churches, new forms of churches forming that says we have the solution, and communicated with them, and they're completely lost. Like they're offering nothing new, but yet it's like they just changed the curtains. And the story is slightly different, but still the same story, and nobody's really recognizing it. And I I'm seeing traffic all the time. I'm seeing people spending money all the time, buying cars. I'm not really seeing too much harm being done yet. There definitely is, but it's like if it affects you, then people here still don't have the awareness of why things are getting challenged. They're very, very tunnel vision in their own experience, and they don't have the information to see the bigger picture yet. So there's always, a little bit of downtime, but it always picks up, is the kind of mentality. But those that are affected, they get really, really angry. And when you're angry, you don't know what's going on. You know something's wrong, but you don't know specifically what's wrong. And as long as you're really, really angry, you start, you know, drinking a little too much, taking drugs, doing anything that gets rid of the pain. And if you happen to be, on a welfare system, that's where you'll really get pissed off, because that's when people will judge you and say that you were the cause of all of the problems, you're just lazy, you don't want to work. All problems that create a welfare system, as soon as you're on that system, that's the time where you really lose your mind, because that's the time society judges you completely wrong. And then it's like, okay, how do I, pull myself out of this when everybody judges you? Nobody wants to give you a job, and yet they say you don't want to work. And it is just total insanity here. I have, before I even open my mouth, because I'm tending to be, really into this stuff, and if I do have a conversation with people, it usually leads to, people are complaining. And if you want to talk to me and make a complaint, let's talk about what's real and what isn't real. So that's where, if I'm talking with somebody, just bump into a stranger or whatever, and they're bitching about something, then I usually ask them, well, what do you see is happening with the economy? And the answers that I get are, a lot of people know something's going on, but they only think it's a mild recession. Months ago, our government decided to take advantage of YouTube and wanted to communicate with Canadians to see what it is that we felt. And the Prime Minister was going to talk with the most popular question post. The highest question that was asked, from my perspective of looking at all the thousands and thousands of questions that were asked, is legalize marijuana. And you have to really understand what's the cause that so many people would want to be on drugs. The only reason you're on any form of drugs is because you're in some kind of pain. And it could be boredom. It could be kids that are just haven't figured out life yet, get pleasure off of smoking pot. It feels good. It feels better. They justify. It also cures. It calms you down. That's the biggest thing about smoking pot. Is it has the ability to heal the body. Why? Because it lowers stress. So why are all Canadians, the biggest question they're asking is to legalize marijuana. It's like, why do you want marijuana legalized? Because you're freaking stressed. And it's a medication that will cure that. It is like any other drug that if you don't use it effectively, then it's no good to you. But it's a time where you're searching for answers. And I never really knew this, but it makes a lot of sense that it's a pain reliever, but you don't really want the pain reliever. You want to get rid of the cause that creates the pain. And when you're really young, you won't have the life experiences to know that, why the hell are you bored? There's something going on within our society that creates boredom. And a lot of it is because we don't really give a shit about our kids. The first thing that goes in an economy is take away all of our activities that would make you have fun, that make you enjoy your life. You cannot be productive unless you're in a good mood. But take away the ability for us to try and get in a good mood, we won't be productive. But that's the way, nobody can justify doing what's right. They want to stay in the left brain, logical, business rules of everything. All the business rules that we're using right now are totally wrong, but they want you to stay in that logical thinking mind, and they take away any funding that goes towards things that get you outside into your right brain, imagination, possibilities, change, joy, love. They're taking all of that away and thinking it's going to just solve itself. So I also, on that YouTube channel with the Prime Minister, got involved in some people about the economy, and I was attacked big time for my opinions when I say the economy is crashing. I was told I'm an idiot, I don't know what I'm talking about, and the name calling that goes on when people don't agree with your same perspective. And the motivation behind that is, anybody that was really down on me, well, they're business owners, they're salespeople that are working for the business guy. And in order for them to earn their money, they got to make people feel like there's, the economy's good. There's got to be more motivation for businesses to convince everybody that, hey, the economy's great, spend your money. Why? Because I'm the salesperson that wants to sell you something. If they actually said, hey, it's kind of getting scary here, you may want to save your money for a rainy day, then that stops all of the spending, and then the economy will crash instantly. So right now, there still is the potential to sell something. We have a lot of natural resources here that we're selling everything off. Assume we won't even, well, hell, let's face it, we don't even own the land. It's owned by the corporation, but corporation is definitely taken over here. So no, it's not all that well here in Canada, and I'm on a freaking welfare system. That's going to go. That's why I'm motivated to do this, because I know that I can't just sit comfortably on a free income for the rest of my life. My time is limited off of, how I earn my living. If everybody else is unemployed, where are we going to get the money to pay my paycheck? We need to use some logic sense there, and I'm very, very much aware of that. So that's why I'm kind of trying to develop a new career that says we need to make our money a little differently. And if I'm successful at that, then I create a career, and I'm working productive in something I think is a little bit more positive. And that's what I think. Well, that's my whole channel, is we need to sort of wake up and find that different direction, find that new business structure. Because we still have to do business. And we still need to have some kind of an exchange happening, like this currency. I mean, it could be gold, it could be dollars, it could be, you can come up with any way, to make an economic system. The thing is it's the structure and the control that makes it corrupt. And we need to make some major changes within our justice system. There is no justice system here in Canada. You don't have to go too far to find a lot of people making a lot of complaints about our justice system. I mean, for a mother that has to pay child support instead of collect it, our law says that the parent that the children live in is the one that collects child support. In my case, I had to pay child support for the children that live in my home, while a welfare system actually supports that same child that we're paying child support for, where it's their mandate to go and collect child support and take it off of, so our government systems are so detached. One department doesn't know what the other department has. All of the non-profit organizations that are claiming to help, they can't tell the truth because they lose their funding. And I've heard those words specifically from a women's shelter that I wanted to volunteer in. I told them I would only get involved in this as long as I'm telling women the truth, because I have the experience and nobody was telling me the truth, and it was the truth that devastated me. It was a lie that devastated me. If somebody told me the truth, I would have known what to expect. But it was the shock that it destroyed my health more than anything, is just not being told the truth. So, but this women's shelter specifically told me, we can't tell women the truth, otherwise we lose our funding. And that's the same with just about every nonprofit organization. I'm kind of liking the YMCA because it seems to be a lot more community involvement. They also are, more business structured, where it sustains itself and doesn't constantly need donations all the time. And that's where I see as a good nonprofit, when it actually provides you with what it is that you need. They actually receive information, like in my case today, this week, joining this gym. They had paperwork that, I've got this business rule that says I don't do paperwork. That will drive me insane to do paperwork, and what's the point in me coming to a gym to improve my health if the paperwork's going to destroy my health because of the business rule I have? And she says, that's okay, we're going to have a workaround, because I'm here to help you get this membership, not here to make it impossible for you to get this membership. And she did an amazing job. And I definitely fit within their guidelines, but this is a nonprofit organization that understands the human condition cannot be set in stone with a business rule. You have to be able to treat people one-on-one and deal with every problem as it comes up, and it's different. So I see that aspect. For me, I think if Canadians can get this right, Canadians can actually have the potential to shift an entire planet, because Canada has the money. And it is that money flow, that if we can control the money flow here in Canada, then we have the potential to make a major shift. But you know what? Who owns Canada? The Queen. It's not like Canada owns Canada. Peace out.